ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Gita, press page 20, page 50, your notebook, page 53. And line 4. Let's chant one line before that. Tasmat paratah. Tasmat
तस्मात्
paratah aksharat
परतः अक्षरात्
parah
परः
nirupadhikah
निरुपाधितः
puruṣaḥ ityarthah.
पुरुष इत्यत्रः.
Yeah, that's good. So this will help us to recapitulate what we studied. Mantra number 1, 211 talked about Karanam Brahma. Okay, so the Brahma, that is the Karanam, Jagat Karanam. Just like the fire is the Karanam for all the sparks, like that Upanishad gave an example. And then Shankara gives a different example. So Ghatakasha, etc. he talks about. Then shifting to Nirupadikam. Look at that here. Nirupadikaha puruṣaḥ. Previously Sopadikam Brahma, now Nirupadikam Brahma. Now means mantra 2. Previously Karanam Brahma, now Karana Karya Vilakshanam Brahma. A Brahma that is neither Karanam nor Karya. Asmat krita kritat. Yat pashyasi tat vada. Nachiketa. That is this mantra. Or Maya Sahitam Brahma, mantra number 1. Mantra number 2, Maya Rahitam Brahma. So like this. we can differentiate the two. So these Upanishads are useful because it gets into that kind of a detail. Okay. And so, tasmat parat or parataha aksharat paraha nirupadikaha puruṣaḥ ityarthaha. Like that, he concludes the bhashyam of the Mulam. Now he is going to give further introduction, summary as well as an introduction to the next mantra. Let's read that. Yasmin
यस्मिन्
tat
तत्
akashakhyam
आकाशाख्यम्
aksharam
अक्षरम्
samvyavahara vishayam
संव्यवहारविषयम्
otam protam cha.
ओतं प्रोतं च.
Yeah, full stop. You can put a full stop there. It is not there in Gita Press. So he's summarizing. Bhagavan Bhashyakara is summarizing what was said. So somebody said this Sanskrit in Mundaka is a bit difficult. It is difficult means it is Sanskrit. Sanskrit is neither difficult nor easy. Sanskrit is Sanskrit. It's like saying Gujarati is difficult. Gujarati is difficult means what? You are sitting in Tamil Nadu, obviously Gujarati is difficult. But you go talk to Gujaratis, they laugh at you when you say Gujarati is difficult. What Gujarati is difficult? Yeah, Assamese is difficult. What difficult? You don't even know where Assam is. Obviously, Assamese is difficult. So, Sanskrit is Sanskrit, that's all. So, we are not used to all these words and things like that. But these days, colleges are getting little wiser thanks to our central government. They're all they are looking for people who know Sanskrit. It's very strange. It is very, very strange. And so why I said that? Somebody said like that. I said, okay, fortunately, Sanskrit is not a requirement for this, for understanding Upanishad, because we people are spending talking about every word. So even if you don't know Sanskrit, you'll pick up Sanskrit from this kind of a course. And so yes, min. So you'll end up knowing what is a pronoun, what are nouns, what are adjectives. And then you'll end up knowing that, yeah, in Sanskrit, words are all over the place. And it's not like subject is in the beginning of the sentence, the verb is at the end. All these things, it won't work here in Sanskrit. Generally, we can do that, but it need not work. So, yasmin tad akashakhyam aksharam samvyavaharam or samvyavahara vishayam otam protam cha. All right, let's take it slowly. Otam protam cha. Yasmin, that in which otam protam. Otam is this, in a cloth, in any cloth is but nothing but a vertical filaments and then horizontal filaments. That's all the cloth is all about. Just keep on doing it, and you and I can't see with our naked eye. And if you carefully look at it, then you will find only these things. And when the cloth is breaking apart, then you begin to see all these things. And so that otam is that vertical strand. Protam is the horizontal strand. They use some words for that. Warp and weft. Warp and woof. That is exactly what this otam protam is. So he's saying, Yasmin. Yasmin means what? That in which, that referring to that parataha paraha puruṣaḥ Nirgunam Brahman. So that in which something is weaved like this. Something is weaved. What is weaved? Aksharam samvyavahara vishayam otam protam cha. Aksharam. So he's saying, again Aksharam. So this Upanishad is playing a game. So Aksharam, once you said it is Nirgunam Brahma, then you came back and said it is Sagunam Brahma. Okay, in the previous section it was Nirgunam Brahma, where Aksharam was described. And then it became Sagunam Brahma in one of the mantras and previous mantra. And now what? Now what? Aksharam is Votam Procham, that in which Purusha is that in which, or Nirgunam Brahma is that in which Aksharam is Otam Protam. Nirgunam Brahma is that in which Sagunam Brahma is Otam Protam. Sagunam Brahma is all this Otam and Protam, and then it is all lying. The cloth is sustained by these strands. Okay, so that is the way to understand it. It's Otam Protam. Strands are the one that sustain the entire cloth. So cloth is Sagunam Brahma, strands are Nirgunam Brahma. Strands are Satyam, cloth is Mithya. Strands are Paramarthikam, cloth is Vyavaharikam. So, Shankara is saying, Yasmin, Aksharam. What is this Aksharam? Samvyavahara Vishayam. Samvyavahara. That which is beginning to engage empirically. That which engages in activity, empirically. Vyavahara. Vyavahara means activity, In all, Samvyavahara, all activities. No paksha is there. There is no bias. Brahman doesn't, Ishvara does not have any bias. Equally engaged in the entire, all universe, all activities of the universe. Some Vyavahara Vishayam. What is some Vyavahara Vishayam? Aksharam. That Aksharam is not Nirgunam Brahma. It is Sagunam Brahma, Ishvara, which is engaging. Thanks to Ishvara, all the activities are happening. Okay. Further, Shankara is now saying Akashakhyam. This Akshara which is known as Akasha. As though this Akshara confusion is not enough. As though this Akshara confusion is not enough. At least one meaning if you give to Akshara, I can remember it for the rest of the Upanishad and the rest of my life. But now itself we are going back and forth. Now he says this Akshara which is well known as Akasha. Really? I didn't know that. Akshara is known as Akasha. Akasha came out of Atma. Okay. Tasmādva etasmājjāyate atmana akasha sambhutaḥ. Now you are telling Ishvara came out of. And Ishvara is called Akasha. Where is it? Okay. That he's saying, don't worry, don't get angry with me like that. It is there in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Mantra number is also there. 375 is given here. 3.8.11. Okay, there is this Gargi Yajnavalkya Samvada. Gargi is challenging Yajnavalkya in the court of somebody, Janaka's court, I think. And this big debate is going on. And Gargi is challenging him. What is this Atma you're talking about? And Yajnavalkya responds to all these questions, her questions. And so there he says, Etasminnu khalu akshare. Okay, etasminnu khalu akshare gargi, hey gargi. Etasminnu khalu akshare, in this akshara, akashaha, otaha, protaha, cha iti. Like that he says. Otaha, protaha, cha comes from that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So, so there, Akasha, point is there, Yajnavalkya is referring to Ishvara, Bhagavan as Akasha. And that Akasha, Khyam, known as Akasha, that Akshara here means Sagunam Brahma. Okay, here, in this context, that Sagunam Brahma, known as Akasha also from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, is Otam Protam, is woven. That in which this Saguna Brahman is woven is the Nirgunam Brahman, Yasmin, that in which. Cha. That is what is parat paraha. That is the end of that mantra. That we discussed. Hyakṣarātparataḥ paraḥ. Okay, hyakṣarātparataḥ. There hyakṣarātparataḥ paraḥ means aksharat saguna brahmana. Nirgunam Brahman is superior to Sagunam Brahman. Like that we saw in the last class. That is continuing here. Discussion. Okay, so that's the discussion. So we get exposed to all these ideas that are there in various Upanishads, little by little. So next time you attend some Brihadaranyaka Upanishad class, you say, yeah, otaha protaha. We saw it somewhere. At least you will remember that. Okay, let's continue this. Bhashyam. Katham punaha.
कथं पुनः
aprāṇādimatvam
अप्राणादिमत्वं
tasya
तस्य
iti uchyate
इति उच्यते
yadi hi
यदि हि
prāṇādayah
प्राणादयः
prāg utpattehe
प्राग् उत्पत्तेः
puruṣaḥ iva
पुरुषः इव
svena atmana
स्वेन आत्मना
santi
सन्ति
tada puruṣasya
तदा पुरुषस्य
prāṇādina
प्राणादिना
vidyamanena
विद्यमानेन
prāṇādimatvam
प्राणादिमत्वं
bhavet
भवेत्
natu
न तु
te prāṇādayah
ते प्राणादयः
prāgutpattehe
प्राग् उत्पत्तेः
puruṣaḥ iva
पुरुषः इव
svena atmana
स्वेन आत्मना
santi tada.
सन्ति तदा
I'll put a full stop there and pause. So, a question is being asked. In the previous mantra, or in this mantra that we just concluded, he says Brahma is divya, amurtaḥ, puruṣaḥ, etc. Ajaha, aprāṇah was said. Aprāṇah. Brahman is there everywhere and it is engaging in all activity. At least Sagunam Brahman is engaging in all activity. Then how can katham punaha aprāṇādimatvam tasya? How can you say Brahman is aprāṇah? Life means prāṇa. You are saying Brahman is aprāṇa. How you can say that? Aprāṇādimatvam. Prāṇādimat means mat. Mat is like Bhagavat. Bhagavat. Shakti mat. That which has Bhaga is called Bhagavat. That which has Shakti is called Shakti mat. That which has Prāṇādi is called Prāṇādimat. So Brahman is Prāṇādimat. So Prāṇādimatvam. The status of having pranadi is called pranadimatvam. Aprāṇādimatvam, the status of not having prana. That is what you told me just now. Aprāṇah. So how this tasya brahmanaha puruṣasya of this purusha, how can you say purusha is aprāṇah like that? Iti uchyate. Okay, that is being said. Okay, that is being said. Is really an introduction to the next mantra. Okay, continuation and transitioning to the next mantra also. Okay, so why this Brahma is without prana like that? That is a question that is being asked. Well, the answer is known to us. known to us. How is it known to us? We know that pot is mithya. Pot is mithya. Clay is satyam in this example. And so, clay cannot have potness. Ghatatvam is not there for clay. Cannot be there for clay. Thankfully, it is not there for clay. Only then clay lends its existence to any object, pot, saucepan, spatula, flower vase, everything it lends. Why? Because it doesn't have potness. That is the answer, simple answer. So, because this pranadi is mithya, Brahman, which is Satyam, cannot have pranadi. That is the answer. But Shankara is not going to give that answer. He's going to say, he's playing mischief. Swami says, Shankara is having some fun. And at whose expense he's having fun is the question. But we are going to enjoy that also. And so, Shankara is saying, look, the world is not yet created, correct? Then why are you worrying about prana? Prana is not there. World is not created yet. Brahman only is there. Therefore, Brahman is aprāṇah. A very cute answer, no? That's what he's going to give. He's going to say that. Just watch. Just watch. Yadi hi pranataya prag utpattehe puruṣaḥ iva svena atmana santi. If, yadi. Pranadaya, you are complaining about prana, right? You want to know about prana. So all this pranadaya, prag utpattehe, before creation. If before creation, all this pranadayaha, puruṣaḥ iva svena atmana santi. They are there exactly like pranadayaha before creation. Before creation, prana should be there, it seems. If it was there, then I can accept Brahman has pranadi. Puruṣaḥ iva. Purusha is there before creation. But like that, if pranadi also were there before creation, then we can debate whether Brahman is pranadi or Brahman and pranadi are two different things sitting their neighbors or what, we can talk. But pranadi is not, cannot be there. So he is saying, tada purushasya pranadina vidyamanena pranadimatvam bhavet. Tada. If we were to agree that pranadi was there before creation itself, prag utpattehe, then tada. And if that were so, then purushasya pranadina vidyamanena. Then you can say this purusha, which is Nirgunam Brahma, and it is pranadina vidyamanena, means presence. The presence of Brahman along with pranadi is possible. That presence we can talk about because two things are there before creation, And so then purushasya pranadimatvam bhavet. Then you can say, yeah, Brahman comes along with pranadi, you can say. This is the argument Shankara is giving. Natu te pranadayah pragutpattehe puruṣaḥ iva svena atmana santi tada. But at that time, tada means what? Pragutpattehe. Before prag means before. So, utpattehe purvam. Before creation, natu, no, such a thing doesn't exist. Puruṣaḥ iva svena atmana. Svena atmana means by itself, in its own nature. Prana must be there as prana, not as some other entity, dissolved entity. Unmanifest entity. No, prana must be there exactly as prana. Natu, no. Before creation, such a thing cannot exist because I just told you it is before creation. Nothing has come about. And so, let's read the next sentence, okay? Ataha is going to conclude. Aprāṇādiman
aprāṇādiman
paraḥ puruṣaḥ
paraḥ puruṣaḥ
yatha
yatha
anutpanne putre
anutpanne putre
aputraḥ
aputraḥ
devadattaḥ.
devadattaḥ.
Yeah. So Shankara is concluding this discussion. Ataha, therefore, based on the reasoning I gave you, what reasoning I gave you? We are not even there. Creation, we have not started talking about creation, it seems. And so when creation itself is not being talked about and prana doesn't exist, where is the question of Brahman being saprānaha? That's not possible. It has to be aprānaha only. And therefore, is concluding. Aprāṇādiman paraḥ puruṣaḥ. Prāṇādiman. Okay. Prāṇādiman, See, man, van, all those are same, right? Same means what? Vat, matup. In Sanskrit, there is a suffix called matup. Matup. And matup, if you add to anything, then it becomes. So suppose you add Shakti, and then Shakti plus Matup becomes Shakti Mat. Shakti Mat. Then Shakti Mat will become either Shaktiman or Shaktimati. Shaktiman, Shaktimati. That's it. One who has Shakti is called Shaktiman, right? So that is Matup, Man. And that is a Man that is there here. Or sometimes what happens, this Matup will become Vatup. Ba. Like Bhaga. You can't say Bhagaman. There's no word in Sanskrit called Bhagaman. It is only Bhagavan. Gunavan, not Gunaman. Because there's a rule that says if the last vowel is akaraha, then you have to put vatup. If the last letter is other than akara, like E, Shakti, E, then you have to say man, Shaktiman, Prāṇādiman. Otherwise, you have to say Gunavan and Bhagavan. Vayu, that which has Vayu. This person's body has Vayu, means life is there. Vayuman, he is Vayuman. Vayu is there. Because Ukara is there, like that. So here, look at that. Prāṇādiman, aprāṇādiman, prāṇādiman. The Purusha, because man, Pullingam, masculine. Why? Because Purusha is masculine. So, Prāṇādiman, Purusha is aprāṇādiman. Purusha does not have pranadi, does not possess pranadi. Tasya asti iti asmin va. Matup is like that. There is a Panini Sutra. Tadasya asti asmin iti matup. Like that, there is a sutra. And so, ataha paraha purushaha aprāṇādiman. Therefore, this Purusha, which is paraha, according to this mantra, the greatest, does not have pranadi. Yatha, Shankara is giving an example. Yatha, Devadatta is still does not is still is not a father yet, because he doesn't have a son, doesn't have a daughter. Okay, so he's not a father. So anutpanne putre, when the child itself is not born, how can Devadatta be called a father? You can't call Devadatta a father. That's all. Okay, not a difficult example, right? And so aputraha Devadattaha anutpanne putre. Putre anutpanne. When a child is not born, Devadatta continues to be aputraha. Then what happens after he has a child? Okay, wait. Don't be in a rush. Just let's go slowly. Okay, and that's what Shankara is saying. Next, he's going to talk about that. Okay. So, therefore, what is this mantra talking about? It says, Gita Press says, Brahm ka paramarthik swarup. So that's Paramarthika Swarupam Brahmanaha. So Nirgunam Brahman is being talked about in this mantra. Nirupadikam Brahma. He used the word Nirupadikaha puruṣaḥ. And that Maya Rahita Brahma is being talked about here. That Brahma which is providing existence to even Saguna Ishvara, which is talked about in the previous mantra. Saguna Ishvara depends on Nirguna Ishvara. Or Sagunam Brahma, who is Ishvara, depends on Nirgunam Ishvara. Or sorry, not Nirguna Ishvara, Nirgunam Brahma. So, we were talking about this last time also. So, that is the Tatparya, that is the message from this mantra. And by the way, that Nirgunam Brahma is of course free from prāṇa, manaḥ, indriyāṇi, viṣayaḥ, like that. A big list was given. Good. Let's take a look at the Anvaya. puruṣaḥ hi.
Jaykumarji, there's a footnote in that Ataha, in the page. That you have
Ataha page foot. Okay. Ataha page footnote.
Yeah, that was there in the last class because it was on the first top of the page.
Oh, that's okay. We covered it then, so we won't do it now. All right. puruṣaḥ hi divyah amūrtaḥ. See, we name all these things. Our children are named Divya, and all these names are coming. Amūrtaḥ. All just direct from the Shastra. It looks like we know the Shastra. Without knowing, we know the Shastra. That's what it is. Somehow, innately, we know what to name our children. Correct? Somehow we know. We may not know the meaning of the words. You can't ask some Divya and tell me the meaning of your word. You can't say. Divya means shining. She will say that. Somehow they know. They know all these things. puruṣaḥ hi divyah amūrtaḥ sabāhyābhyantaro. Just continues like that. hyajaḥ aprāṇah hyamanāḥ śubhro hi hyakṣarātparataḥ paraḥ. hyakṣarātparataḥ paraḥ bhavati. We can add in brackets. śubhro hi parataḥ hyakṣarātparataḥ bhavati. So homework could be rewrite the Anvaya and translate it into English. puruṣaḥ hi divyah amūrtaḥ
Please go
sabāhyābhyantaro.
slow, please. Can you repeat one more time slow?
Yeah, so look at the Moolam. It's all there in the Moolam. Same, I'm reading the Moolam. puruṣaḥ hi divyah amūrtaḥ. Everything else goes along the Moolam. sabāhyābhyantaro hi hyajaḥ aprāṇah hyamanāḥ śubhro hi hyakṣarātparataḥ paraḥ. Last add a word bhavati. That's all. It's all almost same as the Moolam except the first two words puruṣaḥ hi.
He in the brackets. Second he announced.
No he. I don't have any he in brackets. You can look it up and see what's right. Okay. Yeah, so the Moolam is almost, we have copied the Moolam straight. We put Purusha in the front, that's all. Because Purusha is the subject of the sentence. Everything else is a descriptor of that Purusha. Good. Next. Sambandha Bhashyam. Katham te na santi prāṇādayah iti uchyate yasmāt etasmājjāyate prāṇah manaḥ sarvendriyāṇi ca kham vāyurjyotirāpaḥ pṛthivī viśvasya dhāriṇī
पृथिवी विश्वस्य धारिणी
etasmājjāyate prāṇah
एतस्माज्जायते प्राणः
manas sarvendriyāṇi ca
मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च
kham vāyurjyotirāpaḥ
खं वायुर्ज्योतिरापः
pṛthivī viśvasya dhāriṇī.
पृथिवी विश्वस्य धारिणी
Yeah. Sambandham. Katham te na santi prāṇādayaha iti uchyate. So why this, you asked the question, this prāṇādi, why it is not there? So I gave you an answer. That because creation itself did not start yet. So how can you have prāṇādi? That's the answer I gave. But now the mantra is talking about that. Katham te na santi. Katham te prāṇādayaha na santi. Te. How come they, those prāṇādayaha, those prāṇa, etc. means what? Prāṇaha, manaḥ, indriyāṇi, viṣayaha, buddhihi, manas. Everything included. The big list Shankara had given. So how come they don't exist? How come they are not there? Like that. How come they are not there means what? Brahma, that puruṣaḥ is aprāṇah, was manaḥ, everything was said. Nanj was put there. Nanj. A negation was there. That is why he is asking. How can you say Brahman is like that? Iti uchyate. Iti uchyate. That is being said in this mantra. Asmin mantre. Okay. So etasmājjāyate prāṇah. That is because from this, etasmat means from this. From this. Etasmat. Asmat. From this. From this means what? From puruṣaḥ only. From that Nirgunam Brahma, puruṣaḥ only. But now you have to ask, Nirgunam Brahma or Sagunam Brahma? From this means which Brahma it is? The minute you start attributing a cause to Brahman, Brahman can't be Nirgunam Brahma. It has to be referred to as Sagunam Brahma. Nirgunam Brahma is just sitting. It's a sitting duck for everything, just simply sitting. The minute you attribute stuff to Nirgunam Brahma, you have to jump out, get out of Nirgunam Brahma. It is Sagunam Brahma. Therefore, etasmāt means Ishvarat, Saguna Brahmanaha, Maya Sahita Brahmanaha. That is what this etasmāt has to be. Let's see what Shankara says. Okay, etasmājjāyate prāṇah. From that Sagunam Brahma, prāṇa has come about, manaḥ, sarvendriyāṇi ca. And then he is saying, Tam vāyurjyotirāpaḥ apaḥ pṛthivī. All the 5 elements have come about. He says prāṇa, manaḥ came about. Prāṇah, manaḥ itself have come from elements. Okay, so it looks like the order is reversed somehow. The order is reversed. So then our acharyas, they begin to question. What is this? Tasmadva etasmat atmanah akasha sambhutah. It was very clean. Taittiriya Upanishad was easy to study. And from Atma came Akasha and all we said. Now he says from Atma, from this Ishvara came prāṇah, manaḥ, sarvendriyāṇi and then Akasha. That is a bit confusing. That is not correct. That's not correct means what? Artha kramaha. There is no artha kramaha it is. It is pāṭha kramaha. These acharyas talk like that. Pāṭha krama. Pāṭha krama means whatever is mentioned in the mantra is called pāṭha kramaha. But how do you understand it? That is called artha kramaha. So there is a question. And the question is pāṭha krama artha kramayoho. Between these two kramaha, which one kaha baliyan? Which one is, which one takes precedence? Pāṭakrama is there, Arthakrama, they are different. They are different, really, because this is not the order. If you look at the order, this is not the order. Which is Baliyan Kaha. And then he says, And then arthakramaha baliyan. Arthakramaha baliyan means arthakrama. What is the actual order of creation? In this case, order of creation, order of srishti. That only is to be understood. What about patakrama? Patakrama is patakrama. Let it be there. Don't change the Upanishad. But in your understanding, you understand. First come vayuhu, apaha. Kam vayuhu, jyotihi, apaha, prithivī. That is order. Then manaḥ, sarvendriyāṇi cha, prāṇah, manaḥ, etc. will come. Like that, that is your understanding. Understanding should be like that. Like that our acharyas argue. And this particular thing was argued by one acharya, Shastri. I forgot the name of his person. I'll tell you later. Okay. Shastri ji. His commentary he writes like that. Good. So therefore, this Panchabhutas are there. Panchabhutani got created. Akasha. Kam means Akasha, you know. So Akasha, Vayu, Ityadi. They are all the Bhutani. Then the next one are Bhautikani. Indriyani, manaḥ, etc. are called Bhautikani. Bhautikani means Bhutanam or Bhutebhyaha Janyam. Bhautikam. So that which is born from the Panchabhutas is Bhautikas. In English they say elements, elementals. Elemental is born of the elements. So elements and elementals are created or formed from this alone. Etasmājjāyate. From this Sagunam Brahman alone. Okay, that is the idea. And so why Upanishad should again come back to it? Well, because the question was like that. Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati iti. Hey Bhagavan, tell me, teach me about that. If I know that, then I know the entire universe. I know it. I know it all. I can say confidently. And what can that be? Karana vijñāne karyam vijñātam bhavati. If I know the cause of anything, okay, in this example, nimitta karanam, if I know the cause, in this example means in this pot example, if I know the cause, the clay, then I know the world of clay objects. That's it. There is nothing else to be known. Okay. Everything else is vyavahara. Vyavahara is massive. And I may know something, I may not know something. But Satyam is understood. And so that is why the Upanishad is coming back to this topic of the Srishti. And understanding Srishti and understanding the Satyam behind the Srishti, then the student's question would be answered. That's the idea. All right.
Guruji, could you repeat Karana Vijñāne?
Karana Vijñāne Karyam Vijñātam Bhavati. Means what? Karana Vijñāne. Once the Karanam is known, then Karyam Vijñātam Bhavati. The effect, all effects would be tantamount to being known. Vijñātam Bhavati. As good as known. As good as known. Because I know that nothing exists independent of Satyam. Mithya depends on Satyam for its existence. Therefore, Mithya is what? I think here he's going to say, or did we cover it? Vacharam Banam Vikaro Namadheyam. It's going to come now, I think. It is Nama Rupa only. Pot is just name and form only. Pot has no existence independent of clay. That is why Karana Vijñāne Karya Vijñānam Bhavati. Or Sarva Karya Vijñānam Bhavati. Vijñātam Bhavati or Vijñānam Bhavati. It's all same thing. Good. So that's the process, right? So next, Bhashyam. Etasmāt. Etasmāt eva.
Etasmāt eva
Puruṣaḥ.
puruṣaḥ
Nama Rupa Bija Upadhi Lakshitat.
Nama Rupa Bija Upadhi
Upadhi.
Lakshitad
Yeah. Jayate.
Jayate
Utpadyate.
Utpadyate
Avidya Vishaya Vikara Bhutaha.
Avidya. Sorry, because I have something else. I have naamadheya.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Utpadyate avidya vishaya vikara bhuto.
Okay. Bhutaha. Naamadheyaha.
Namadeyaha
Anritatmakaha.
anritatmakaha
Prāṇah.
prāṇah
Vācārambhanam.
sachara
Vācārambhanam.
vacharam banam
Vikaraha.
vikaraha
Nāmadheyam.
namadeyam
Anritam.
anritam
Iti Shrutyantaraat.
iti shrutyantarat.
Yeah.
Sorry for that mistake.
So, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is sarvendriyāṇi cha yeah, he is explaining etasmājjāyate prāṇah. He is explaining that. So etasmat means from this. From this means now Shankaracharya has to explain. This is where a commentary is required, and so he's saying etasmat puruṣaḥ. From that purusha only. So now again game interpretation. Previous he concluded the word puruṣaḥ. See, what did he say? Today we started tasmat paratah akṣarāt paraḥ nirupadikaḥ puruṣaḥ ityartah. So there puruṣaḥ was Nirgunam Brahman. Akṣarāt parat paraḥ. So from that Sagunam Brahma, Nirgunam Brahma is superior, quote unquote superior, right? We saw that. Now he is saying puruṣaḥ, okay, etasmat jayate, and so puruṣaḥ. He doesn't say Nirgunam Brahma. Why? Nama Rupa Bija Upadhi Lakshitat. Lakshitat. Let's go slowly. Lakshita means defined by, characterized by, revealed by, indicated by, shown by. Okay. This Purusha, that which is shown by, indicated by what? By the Upadhi, by an Upadhi. Upadhi means a particular form, a particular thing that has attributes. That's called Upadhi. Pot is a Upadhi of clay, Clay is a Nirgunam, it has nothing. But only if it's in the form of a pot, then you can talk about potness. So that which is indicated by the Upadhi, and what Upadhi it is? That Upadhi which is the seed, bijaha, which is a seed for Namarupa. Namarupa means world, universe, Jagat, Samsaraha. That is Namarupa. That's it. In a Vedanta, Namarupa means that's it. All names and forms is equal to Jagat. So Jagat Bija Upadhi. What is the seed of the Jagat? Maya. Maya Upadhi. Maya Upadhi Lakshitat. So that Purusha which is indicated by Maya Upadhi means it is Sagunam Brahma. It is Ishvara. So Purushat means Ishvarat. Etasmat eva Ishvarat. From this Bhagavan only, from this Ishvara, Maya Sahita Brahman only, something happened. What happened? Jayate is born. What is born? Prāṇah is born. Prāṇah jayate. and prāṇa is being explained. There was a question?
Guruji, the Jayate, there's a footnote, 23.
23, there is a footnote. Okay. In the notebook, there's a big footnote that where this Brahma Sutra, there's a particular sutra, 241, is being quoted. So we'll skip that. It's not required now for us. So that's just by the way. By the way. Footnote number 23, I think. Yeah. So Jayate is equal to Utpadyate. Utpadyate. उत्पादन हुआ. होता है, हुआ नहीं, होता है. Utpadyate. Okay. Prāṇa is born. And what is that prāṇa is being described by Shankaracharya by a few adjectives. Avidya Vishayaha, Vikara Bhutaha, Naamadheyaha, Anritatmakaha. 4 adjectives are used. Which one I want to take first, I don't know. Vikara Bhutaha. Vikara Bhutaha. Vikara is of the change, characterized by change. What do you mean by characterized by change? Hey, prāṇa itself is caused by, what is it? Etasmājjāyate etesham panchabhūtānam samashti rajasamshat panchaprāṇaha sambhūtaha. We saw in Tattvabodha. Prāṇa came from the rajas aspect of all the 5 panchabhutas. So they were formed. Whatever is formed is a product of change only. And not only it's a product of change, it is going to change also. And therefore, its nature is change. Prāṇa, whose nature is change. Why are you saying all these things? A really unique, interesting way of describing prāṇa. Why don't you say prāṇa as this Rajasamshat, the Tattvabodhakara at least gave a good definition for prāṇa. I can understand. Yeah, that all, you know all that. Tattvabodha you already studied. Out of prerequisites are there. So I don't have to repeat what Tattvabodhakara said. And so Vikara Bhutaha, remind yourself, prāṇa is something that changes. Okay. And naamadheyaha. Naamadheyaha. Nama matram. This naamadheya is a very important word. In our Vedic people use that word very much. So when they ask each other for their name, they won't say, what's your name? Suddenly we are all there together in one place. Different people have come. Some people don't know each other. So naamadheyam, they will say. Naamadheyam means, what's your name? What's your good name? Like in English, they have all this good name and all that. So like that, naamadheyam, nama matram. So here, nama matram, it is name alone. Prāṇa is name alone. Exactly like what? What is naamadheya? What when I say it is just naamadheya? Okay, rupa can be given also. Nama rupa. That is all. That is all that belongs to pot. Nothing else belongs to pot. Everything else is donated by clay. And so only if you exclude clay from your equation, you can dance with the pot. Pot can dance and say this, that, I am this, I am that. But minute clay is brought into the picture, pot has to go silent. Okay, that is called naamadheya. And avidya vishayaha anritatmakaha. Avidya Vishaya, it is how should I say it? It's an object of ignorance. It's an object of ignorance. Prāṇa is an object of ignorance. What are you talking? The whole medical science is working and they're to support our life. And people are living 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100, 115. One lady passed away. But one thing, that 115 lady never went to the hospital. That's a different thing. But still, medical science... See, very interesting it is. Very, very interesting. People who live very long, they have never been to the hospital. This is all crazy. You look at all this and say, I don't understand what's going on. And so, anyway, so much is going on, so much science is going on. Suddenly you come and say, avidya vishayaha prāṇaha. That is because if you take prana as satyam, which is what everybody takes, science takes prana as satyam only. We also take prana as satyam, and it is not satyam. It is what? It is naamadheya. It is naamadheya. And so it doesn't have its own existence. That is why we call it avidya vishayaha. And therefore anriitatmakaha. Atma means swarupam. Swarupam means of the nature of. Of the nature of anriitam. Ritam means satyam. Ritam is satyam. Anriitam. Anriitam can mean many things. It can mean false. It can mean asatyam, non-existent. Here it doesn't mean non-existent, because prana is very much there. Otherwise we can't talk about prana, And so it's very much there. And so anritam. Then what? Mithya. That is anritam. Mithyatmakaha. Mithyabhutaha. Mithyabhuta. It is just gas. It's naamadheya. It gives you the feeling that it's something absolutely real. It is there. Vyavaharika satyam is there. That is why we have three types of satyam. Pratibhatika satyam, Vyavaharika satyam, and Paramarthika satyam. Prana is there. It has its role. It has its role. Whatever role it plays, let it play. But finally in Vedanta you have to understand that it is avidya vishayaha naamadheyaha anritatmakaha vikara bhutaha. Those are the insights we get when we study Vedanta. So, prana is worshipped. Ishta Devata is there. The prana, the Adhisthana Devatas are all there. For prana and all the Shabdadi, everything. Devatas are all there. Devata is also Mithya. That prana also is Mithya. How about that? That is brilliant. That is where we are heading towards. And so, this is Advaita Vedanta. Vishishta Advaita will say it differently, because everything is Satyam. Everything is Satyam. There is no Mithya at all in Vishishta Advaita and Dvaita. And so, you are part of the universe, you are part of Bhagavan. And you have to merge with Bhagavan. You have to go to Vaikuntha, etc. Prapatti, all they talk about. So there they say Brahman has transformed. Because transformed also is Satyam, the pre-transformed also is Satyam. Everything is Satyam. And that is the common understanding of everybody also. So that is why Vishishta Advaita is very attractive. It doesn't question my understanding. It only says be a bhakta. Be a bhakta. Very good. It's a very important thing. Bhakti. It highlights bhakti. Bhakti. Very good. Highlights bhakti, and then God will take care of me. That's great. That's perfect for most people, for everybody. That's good. Bhakti is very important. So we also benefit from Vishishta Advaita perspective, stories, and everything they talk about on TV is very useful. But jumping point, from there we jump to Advaita. All right. We will say that no, Brahman has not transformed to become the universe. Brahman has not transformed to become prana. Brahman is Brahman. It never transforms. We will say Brahman is the vivarta upadana karanam. You are telling me Brahman has transformed. Brahman is the parinami upadana karanam. Like milk has become yogurt, you are saying. I am saying Brahman is not like milk becoming yogurt. Brahman is like water becoming wave. Nothing happened to water. Nothing happened. Nothing can happen to Brahma. Okay? That is our idea. That's our view. That's our vision. And so, did we read that? Yeah, we read that also. So now he says, now Vishishta Advaita comes and says, wait a minute, you are putting a lot of words in my mouth. Upanishad only said, etasmājjāyate prāṇah. Now you are bringing anritatmakaha, mithya, and all these things. That is all not fair. Naamadheyaha, name only. Upanishad doesn't say name only prana. Does it say that? No, it is just saying etasmājjāyate prāṇah. Look, I am not putting words in anybody's mouth. You have to study Chandogya Upanishad. Without studying Upanishads, if you come and talk, this is a problem. Vacharam banam vikaro namadheyam. Some study, you have to sit and study for a while. And then only you argue. Don't argue before studying all these things. And so there, vacharam, bharam, vikaro, naamadheyam, anriitam, everything, shruti-antarat. Shruti-antarat means another shruti. From another shruti, these sentences are there. I'm just connecting all these Upanishads. That's all I'm doing. I'm not saying anything new. What does it say? Vacharam, bhanam, vikaro, naamadheyam. This father is teaching the son. Uddalaka, the father, is teaching the son Shvetaketu. Shvetaketu comes from, after studying the Vedas for 12 years, he comes home. Puja Swamiji will just make it very dramatic. He comes home and then he doesn't say hello to anybody. And he's walking like this as though he's accomplished guy. And then what attitude this guy has? He's supposed to be humble after all these things. And this guy has an attitude, it seems. One earring. Swamiji, based on the audience, he will give some examples. One earring he has, it seems. Because that's a fashion, you have to. Or jeans, half, one full jeans, this one is cut into half. This is hanging, ropes are all hanging. Something odd they do. This is amazing how Ishvara's Leela, you just look at it, how you wonder, your own children, you wonder what to do with your children sometimes, right? This is the way they dress up. And the stores are also selling products with torn jeans. This is absolutely amazing. I'm telling you, this is just, Bhagavan only can do all this. And so this guy comes from Veda Pathashala and he acts like he knows everything. The Pathashala, yeah, people who get that kind of education, we have to do namaskar to them, really speak. But you have to be namaskar worthy also. You can't act like you are some god or something. And so, that's the situation. And father asked the question, wait, come here a little bit. What did you study? I studied all the 4 Vedas and all. You studied all the 4 Vedas? Okay. Did you ask your teacher, knowing what is, everything is as well as known? Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvam idam vijñātam bhavati. Did you ask the teacher? And now this guy is scratching his head. And he says, it seems, and no, my teacher did not know it. Wait. What did I ask? Did you ask your teacher this question? That is all I asked. Then he submits, Dad, please don't test me like this. I've studied a lot, but please, this is too much for me. And then teaching starts. Father said, my karma. And instead of them teaching, now I have to sit and teach all these things. My karma. And so then he says, look, hey Somya, yatha mrit jnanena sarvam mrinmayam vijñātagam syat. Just like he gives this example, pot example. This is pot and all. Don't think some Swamiji came up with this example. It is all there in the Upanishad. Okay. Yatha. In fact, the exact words are mritpindena. Just like if you know this mritpinda, clay pinda, that ball of clay, if you understand, sarvam mrinmayam vijñātagam syat. The entire world of clay object is as good as known. Vacharam badam vikaro naamadheya mritike cheva satyam. Like that he says. Mritika iti eva satyam. The satyam of all this world of clay objects is clay. If you know clay, it's as good as knowing the entire world of clay objects. Exactly like that girl who for the first time the mother took the girl to the jewelry shop. And the girl goes inside and says, Mom, this is all gold. That's it. The girl has become enlightened or not? Enlightened. There's nothing to see. This is all gold. What? This is a bangle, this is chain, this is big chain, this is, should we buy this chain, that chain, do you like this design? All that you can talk. But it's all gold. She got it. Now it's all them fine detail out there. That's all. Like that, this father is teaching the son, Mritika iti eva satyam. Then what about all the world of objects? You have to explain to me. How do you say this? Vacharam bhanam vikaro naamadheyam. Hey, all these objects are or what? Naamadheyam. They are all name only. What do you mean name only? Vacharambanam. Name only means, what do you mean by name? That which came out of this vak indriyam. Vak arambanam. Vacha arambanam. That which emanated from the vak. What emanates from vak is a word, and that is all it is. Naamadheyam. Vacharambanam, naamadheyam, vikaro. In between there is a word vikaraha. Vikaraha means it's a rupaha. Here vikara means rupa. Rupa means form. Every object you are pointing to is a form. It has a name. Okay, you've given a name for it also. Great. Name also, in fact, doesn't belong to the pot. It's your creation. It's your creation. Pot means what? The word pot doesn't belong to this pot, really speaking. You created it and you want to refer to this object. Okay? Use it. It's useful. It's useful in our interactions to name things. That is all it is. So it is all there in Chandogya Upanishad. Vacharam bhanam vikaro naamadheyam vrittiketyeva satyam anriitam. That word also is used in the Upanishad. Anriitam means what? Not non-existent. Pot is not non-existent. Pot is very much existent. But its existence is iffy existence, a dependent existence. That dependent existence is called mithya. It is called anriitam. Those are the words I am using. Nothing, I am not saying anything new. Okay? That is what he is saying. Iti shrutyantaraat. Okay.
There is a footnote
Anritam
for
has a
that also.
footnote.
Correct. So there is a footnote also. For number 24, footnote number 24. So we can skip that. We'll continue our discussion. Okay? Footnote number 24. There's some discussion there. I saw it. So, mrittika ityeva satyam. Father tells his son. Okay, mrittika. Clay alone is real. Real. In English, it's hard to say. Translate all these words. And so, it is like that saying. See, teacher goes to the class and say, Vivek is intelligent. Vivek is intelligent. Vivek is intelligent means, what about the rest of the people? There are 40 children in class. Rest of the children questionable, correct? And now the teacher is now saying Vivek alone is intelligent. Mritika iti eva satyam. Vivek alone is intelligent means what? You have to pray that these children are young enough that they don't understand the meaning of the statement. And it is an insult to everybody. Vivek alone is intelligent means what? All of you are stupid, correct? All of you are stupid. That is the meaning. That's the meaning. Whether the teacher understands what she said or not, we don't know. But that is the meaning. She means it. Vivek alone is intelligent means that is the meaning. What else is there? That is what it is. Mrittika iti eva satyam means, what about the world of objects? Not satyam. You have taken it as satyam. That is where your problem is. That is a problem. Taken it as satyam. Once you take it as satyam, then you have to find a way to get out of these problems. And then you have to find a way to get out of this world itself, correct? Because world is satyam. Now I have to look for an escape route, and anybody who proposes a very interesting escape route becomes my philosophy. That's why Swamiji says, you should not say what philosophy, what darshana you are studying and all. You have to ask, what mistake are you following? What mistake are you following? That is how you should ask, it seems. Swamiji says, what is your mistake? My mistake is this. Your mistake? So like that.
Good.
And so I am reminded of another joke. Once what happened, when we were cooking, 4 of us were living in an apartment, and we take turns cooking when we were studying in Purdue grad school, and we take turns. And then cooking, some people are really good at cooking. They just comes natural to them. Sundar used to be very good. And we are all trying to learn. We are very turmeric, what is mustard seed, from onwards, basic Tattva Bodha onwards, we start. And so, chana dal, tur dal and all, what is chana dal? Don't get confused. Then the moong dal also is there. Oh, Pongal, you have to put moong dal, don't put chana dal, okay? And so like this, we used to start learning from this Sundar. And once what happened, I did something called Mysore Rasam. I was cooking and all, then I had these books. And so this Samaythu Par. So I made Mysore Rasam. And it so happened that it came out very well. And so these boys were saying, looked at me and said, today food is good. That means what? Today food is good means what? What is the meaning of that? It means we've been putting up with you for the last 3 years. Finally, today food is good. That is the meaning. Today food is good. And so, but then they said, then they'll say, why don't you make Mysore Rasam tomorrow? Like that, from occasionally I used to hear. I said, wow, my God, finally, at least some little something, some good thing, some appreciation was there after all these years of cooking. I'm sure all of you, the mothers and fathers, have experienced this in some way or form. Of course, children never acknowledge, Mom, your food is cooked. They'll never say all that until they go leave, and then they hang around, go to New York and this Bombay and all. Finally, they call, Mom, this food is gone. So it's not like your food. Then only mother has a last laugh. Last laugh. Aha, okay. Finally, took him 25 years to say thank you. So vacharam bhanam vikaro naamadheyam mritiketyeva satyam. All right. We have a minute or so. Let's read the next sentence.
Jayakumarji, Shrutyantarat means from many Shrutis, is that what?
Illa, Shrutyantaram means another Shruti.
Another
Antaram
Shruti.
is another
Okay,
Shruti. Another Shruti.
Okay.
Shrutyantara. From another Shruti, we hear all these things. Like that he says. Like sometimes you hear the word Janmantaram. What is Janmantaram? Another Janma. Janmantareva. Like that Shankara will say. Hey, how did this person get all these ragas? This 3-year-old child knows all the Melakarta ragas, 72 ragas. How? Nobody taught this child. Janmantareva. Previous Janma samskara is just coming like that. That is Antara. Antara means another.
In music
Janmantaram.
also we say patantaram. Carnatic music
Patantaram.
patantaram.
See that. You have all these words. It's all there in our language. Patantaram. Or sometimes if the food made is so bad, then you have to say Lanchantaram, Bhojanantaram. You have to say, we have to go somewhere. We have to go somewhere. Yeah, no time to cook. No time to cook now. Bhojanantaram means Kantaram we can't do now. We have to go somewhere. We have to order. Or go order from Swiggy's.
Then it is prarabdha.
Yeah, it's all there.
Guruji, when you say Andaram, is it previous? Janmandaram means a previous birth.
If you can stay back for satsang, we will conclude the class and continue that discussion. Yeah. Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha pṛthivī sasyashalini Deshoyam kshobarahitaha sajjanas santu nirbhayaha Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Dhanyavada.